What's up, guys? We're back out here at the John boat and we're working on the aluminum floor. Just to get caught up real quick, in the last video I got the framing for the floor done. Today's goal is to get the foam cut and fit into the subfloor, and then the new floor sized and cut to fit. All right, so first thing I want to do is start getting the foam cut for the flooring. I have a bunch of scrap foam left over from the last boat, as well as a big sheet over here. So hopefully this will be enough to raise the level of the foam up to the bottom of the subfloor. To cut the foam, I'm just gonna be scoring it with a blade and then snapping it off. All right, so first piece, I'm gonna start right here on the corner. About 24 inches. Pretty perfect. I was trying to line this up right in the center, 48-inch floor, 24 inches, not bad. 14. Using a fresh blade. Take this. I do have the vertical supports sticking out here. My plan is to just kind of push this into them. Nice. Okay, that's pretty good. Right here is where it starts to get higher than the subfloor. All right, so what I'm gonna go do is just measure out the different areas I need to fill with this 2 or 2.5 inch foam board, get the bulk of it filled in with this board here. Then I'm gonna run out, get a thinner board and fill in all the gaps. So with the first set of foam boards complete, I'm gonna go run out and get a little bit thinner foam board to fit everywhere that the 2 inch is too big to fit. Basically, there's a slope going from the edge of the boat down to the center because it is a mod V. So the 2 inches is great for the center, but it's too tall for the exterior. So now that I have the foam in place, I'm gonna go ahead and figure out how I'm gonna get the floor cut to fit. This is 0.1 thickness material, so it's a little bit less than 1/8. It's pretty heavy, it's about 45 pounds for the sheet. I'm gonna go ahead and cover up the edges of the boat in the back, put the sheet into the boat, and then see how we can measure this out. Okay, so I just had this idea. I'm gonna use this foam board to make myself a little template, use the template to notch out the ribs for the aluminum, get the aluminum in the boat for the front half, and then cut the rest of it while it's in the boat for the back half. Okay, so at this point, I've basically made a template out of foam for, 3/4 of the sheet here. So what I did was in my template, I cut the holes a little bit bigger. I marked off the front of each rib. So now I can measure how much space I need to cut for each rib, mark that out exactly, and then I'll have my rib spots. And then what I'm gonna do is just draw the line straight across. That way they're even on each side. Okay, so with the fronts of the ribs marked off, I'm gonna come in 2 inches on each one, mark that off, and then I'll have my rib cut out. And I'm just gonna go ahead and notch in, and then kind of bend up a little bit and let it fall into place. All right, so for cutting, I'm just using a handheld jigsaw. I'm using bimetal Diablo medium cut blades. I will link in the description for anything you guys wanna check out. Easy enough. All right, so unfortunately my camera battery died in the middle of putting the floor in, so I did a little bit of work while I was waiting for the batteries to charge up. I'm really happy to see that all of my cuts lined up perfectly with the ribs. Once I had everything in place, I just held the sheet up, marked it with my hands, and then used the jigsaw while the sheet was in the boat to cut out the last couple relief cuts. So now I'm really happy with the floor. It sits really solid on the bracing. I've actually did a little bit of walking on it, had the kids running around on it just to see where it might need a little bit of support. I'm gonna get this floor out, shore up the frame, put any other extra bracing, try to stuff as much foam as I can fit under here. But I think what I'm gonna do is just do one more run of angle down this side and then on this side, and then that'll finish the bracing for the bottom. Ideally, I would have just liked to fill up these ribs with foam, but because of the slope of the boat, it's becoming really difficult to use the two different sizes of foam to get it just right without shaving it down and making it kind of like perfect. I could see pour foam being really useful in this situation. Rather than using the snips this time, I'm just going to try using the jigsaw. All right, so I finished adding the extra bracing. I ran out of the 1.5 inch angle, but I did have I think a 1/2 inch or a 1 inch angle. Right now I'm going through and adding extra support to the joints and the framing will be done. So with the help of my partner in crime, I was able to get the floor into the boat. At this point, it's pretty much complete. I'm not going to be riveting it down to the supports just yet. There's some other things I want to do to it before I get to that point. The main thing I want to focus on is getting the front storage hatch built. As you can see, the floor is super solid from front to back. I'm really excited to get it riveted down just so it kind of stops bouncing around on top of the supports. But either way, it's looking really good. Overall, the process wasn't too bad. The hardest part was definitely the framing and then figuring out how to cut the floor. You can see how the tabs are bent up on the sides. I may leave them like that because this is all gonna get covered by walls. So it's not something you're gonna see. On that side, there's gonna be a rod locker, and this side is gonna be storage. So if I do find that they become an issue and they're in the way, I may just trim them off and then bend them down in place. That's another reason why I'm not ready to secure the floor just yet, because I'm not really sure what I wanna do with these tabs.
And they're very short.
And they're very sharp.
Very, 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 very sharp.
All right, well, if you guys found this helpful, don't forget to let me know by hitting that like button. If you want to follow on the John boat build, I have the boat going out tomorrow, I think, to test some things out. Don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching.